Wait. Guan Ming stopped and said, Mr. Gu, you said that was an illusion set up by you? Yes, this kind of trick to confuse people is easy to do, look. Gu Lao chuckled, and 3 more female ghosts in red were floating in front of Guan Ming. Didn't I just tell you to show it? Is it a good show? I didn't expect you to be so timid. Mr. Gu laughed. Master, can you say hello in advance and not play tricks on your apprentice like this? Guan Ming sat down on the ground. Just now he thought he had really seen a ghost. Ha, didn't I remind you? I did this for your own good. For my own good, I was almost scared to death. Guan Ming rolled his eyes. Anyone who encountered such a mysterious thing would be scared. The news that this forest is haunted will definitely spread, and you won't have to worry about being disturbed in your practice in the future. But there are a lot of reality shows here. If Mr. Gu were a person, he would definitely have a expression at this time. Now that he knew it was Mr. Gu who had done it, Guan Ming was no longer afraid and continued to go deeper. He soon found a flat place to sit cross-legged and practice breathing. Although medicinal baths are also helpful for refining qi, they are more for physical exercise. Refining qi also requires breathing in the spiritual energy traveling between heaven and earth to strengthen oneself. According to Gu Lao, nowadays, except for some special places, the spiritual energy in other places is all over the place. It is very thin and the cultivation effect is very little. Originally, he could breathe in the dormitory, but Guan Ming didn't want to expose his secret, so he could only come to this small forest to practice. On the other side, Lin Feng and Lu Tao dug out a pair of Guan Ming's medicinal materials. Madman, you said this is what the jar is soaked in every day? Well, I don't know what it's for, but it seems very cool, and it must be able to improve your abilities in that area. How about we each take a dip and take a look? Anyway, there are 4 pairs of jars here. Not good. Lin Feng looked hesitant, but he was obviously moved. It's okay. Jar is not that stingy. The worst we can do is pay him the money for the medicinal materials. Lu Tao persuaded. Lin Feng also thought it was reasonable. The two took out the tools for grinding the medicinal powder, ground it into powder and put it in the bathtub. Fill it with warm water, and the color of the water turns green. Lu Tao soaked it first as promised in advance. After just a few minutes of soaking, Lu Tao couldn't help it anymore. Yeah. Taozi, is it really that good? Lin Feng asked expectantly as he stood nearby. It's really cool. Damn, the jar is so stingy. You hid such a good thing without telling us. You will know later when you feel it for yourself. An hour later, Lu Tao came out of the bathtub with satisfaction, and the water had turned black. Lu Tao clearly felt that something was different about himself, but he just couldn't tell. It's my turn. Lin Feng couldn't wait for a long time, and he had ground the medicinal powder in advance. After changing the water again, Lin Feng soaked in it and cried out comfortably in less than a minute. It's really nice, Damn it, damn glass, you can't let me sleep anymore. A scolding came from the dormitory next to him. Lin Feng and Lu Tao were stunned and began to curse back. Lin Feng was screaming happily while cursing. Guan Ming is unaware of all this, and now he is focused on practicing. Although the spiritual energy between heaven and earth is thin, perhaps because of Guan Ming's constitution of yin, earth and yang, the spiritual energy is gathering crazily from all directions and pouring into Guan Ming's body. Absorb. Tsk, the body of heaven, yin, earth and yang is really powerful. In such a thin spiritual environment, the absorption is still so overbearing, and it even affects the distant spiritual energy. Gu Lao's voice lingered in Guan Ming's consciousness. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Guan Ming woke up from practicing, feeling refreshed and 100 times more comfortable than after sleeping. I've almost started to train my body. I don't know if I can bear the 300 kilograms of weight. Guan Ming said to himself. Back in the dormitory, Lin Feng and Lu Tao were sleeping soundly. Guan Ming did not disturb the two of them. He put on the steel armor himself. The fixed place was well designed and fit Guan Ming's body very well. Ding Hong did not do the design. The teacher is simply a waste of talent.
Wearing a set of sportswear to completely cover the steel armor, Guan Ming nodded with satisfaction, because apart from the fact that he looked a little fatter, no other abnormalities could be seen. Trying to take 2 steps, it was much more difficult than Guan Ming imagined. This is not to say that the coordination of the steel armor is poor, but that Guan Ming is wrapped in 300 kilograms of steel armor. The steel on his 2 feet alone is heavy. 30 kilograms, which means that every time you lift your feet, you have to carry 30 kilograms of weight. The 2 arms also weighed 20 kilograms each, the one on the back weighed 150 kilograms, and the one on the belly weighed 50 kilograms, for a total of 300 kilograms. It's impossible to run like this, and even walking is difficult. Guan Ming said with a wry smile. Xiaomingzi, this is the best training for the body. Although it will be overloaded, it is just enough to allow the medicinal bath you take every day to be completely absorbed into the bones and muscles. If it lasts, your physical body will definitely become stronger and stronger. If you can walk normally wearing this steel armor, it means that you have achieved some success in physical training. Then you will be able to enter the second level of the broken mirror stage. Mr. Gu's voice sounded, but I have to praise the design of this steel armor. It's perfect. I know, Mr. Gu. Guan Ming responded and started walking out. He walked very slowly, as if he was stamping his feet when he landed. When he walked downstairs to the dormitory, Guan Ming was already panting from exhaustion and his whole body was wet with sweat. Finally arriving at the playground, every step Guan Ming took was extremely difficult, and his feet were shaking because they could not bear the weight of 30 kilograms. After taking a few steps forward, Guan Ming felt that he had reached his limit and stood there panting. Baby face, are you kidding me? A voice sounded next to Guan Ming. Guan Ming turned around and saw Jin Huilan running on the spot, looking at him with a funny face. Jin Huilan was wearing a vest, a pair of shorts, and sneakers. She had obviously been running for a while and was sweating a lot. Why are you here? Guan Ming was even more surprised that Jin Huilan appeared on the playground at this time and was still running in the morning. Nonsense, I go for a morning jog here at 6 o'clock every day. When it comes to you, it's hard for you to take a single step. How vain are you? How did you defeat Tang Lei? Jin Huilan looked at her curiously. With Guan Ming. She noticed Guan Ming when he first appeared on the playground. Seeing that Guan Ming was wearing sportswear, it was obvious that he was jogging in the morning, but his posture for morning jogging was really beyond praise. Let's not talk about Guan Ming, it's not called running at all, not even walking. Forget it, he still looks like it's difficult to lift his feet. He is even more Lindayu than Lindayu. Jin Huilan takes it for granted that Guan Ming is just here. It's funny, but there's not a single ghost in sight this morning. Who is this funny to? Seeing that Guan Ming didn't speak for a long time, Jin Huilan lost interest. Young face, you continue to be funny here, I'm leaving first. Can you stop being such a pretty boy? Guan Ming rolled his eyes speechlessly, but Jin Huilan didn't answer and trotted away. Guan Ming also took steps again. Jin Huilan completed another lap, but Guan Ming only went forward less than 20 meters. Jin Huilan said, since you were so empty, don't run away. Go back and eat more kidneys, pig whip or something. That's all you are, honey. How did my son fall in love with you? The baby in Jin Huilan's mouth is naturally Shiwaner. Guan Ming was speechless again. He felt that this woman was a bit nagging. He also sarcastically said to himself that if Jin Huilan wore this armor, she would be worse than himself. Guan Ming didn't bother to argue with a woman and continued to move forward. Jin Huilan trotted in front of Guan Ming, took out her mobile phone and started recording, and said at the same time, "This posture is so funny. If it is posted on the internet, it will become a huge hit. Do you believe I'm suing you for infringement of your portrait rights?" Guan Ming suddenly became anxious. Then if you keep staring at me, can I sue you for indecent assault? Jin Huilan chuckled, "Come on, walk faster. Whether my post will go viral or not depends entirely on you. Damn it, give me your phone." Guan Ming wanted to grab the phone, but it was difficult to do so. Jin Huilan stood still, and Guan Ming was out of reach.
Tisk, TSK, come after me. If I catch you, I'll give you my phone.
Jin Huilan said provocatively.
You forced me to do this. Guan Ming gathered his energy and suddenly felt much more relaxed. He chased after Jin Huilan.
Jin Huilan ran in front and said, "So you can run, but your running posture is really funny, haha." After chasing her around the playground for half a circle, Guan Ming was stunned but failed to catch up with Jin Huilan, and his running speed became slower and slower.
Finally, he simply stopped chasing her. It's really boring. I ran out of energy so quickly. I still want to record more?
Jin Huilan shook her head in disappointment and walked over on her own initiative. You will be even more popular tomorrow, don't thank me too much, sister. Jin Huilan patted Guan Ming from left to right and said with a smile. Guan Ming sneered, his chi was raised to the extreme by him, and he rushed towards Jin Huilan with a single step. Jin Huilan ducked to the side with an ouch, but Guan Ming fell like a dog because his chi was instantly removed, and the steel armor in the ground made a clanging sound.
Hey, you have such a strong body with such a small body. Okay, I won't play with you anymore. Let's just come here today.
Jin Huilan saved the video and ran away, leaving Guan Ming with an ugly look on his face.
You'd better not fall into my hands.
Guan Ming simply lay down on the spot, rested for 10 minutes before standing up again, and returned to the dormitory step by step with difficulty. The moment he took off his steel armor, Guan Ming felt like he was reborn. He took a shower first, then went to the cabinet to look for clothes to wear.
In a blink of an eye, he saw that there were only 2 pairs of medicinal ingredients left, and he screamed. Damn it, the dormitory was robbed. What's going on? Where's the thief? Lu Tao was so frightened that he rolled to the ground, his little face full of confusion. Who came to our dormitory yesterday? Why are 2 pairs of my medicinal materials missing? If I know who did it, I will make him regret coming to this world. At this time, Guan Ming's heart was cut by a knife. 2 pairs of medicinal materials were 25 won, if you say no, it will be gone. Lu Tao crawled back to bed sleepily. It's just 2 sets of medicine, are you okay?
Yesterday, the madman and I used 1 set.
How much money do we give you and it's over? Okay.
128,000 a pair, compensation.
Boom. Lu Tao had just crawled back onto the bed and was so frightened by Guan Ming's words that he rolled to the ground again. He suddenly woke up and his eyes were as wide as an ox's. Damn it, what did you say? Why didn't you go grab it? This is my list of medicines to buy. You can read it yourself.
Guan Ming handed the list to Lu Tao from his wallet. Lu Tao naturally thought that Guan Ming was deceiving him, but when he saw the prices on the list, he was immediately confused.
The list also had the watermark of Dingchang Medicine Hall.
This could not be faked, and Guan Ming could not have known about the 2 of them in advance. Will steal his own medicinal materials to prepare a fake list.
Lu Tao's expression suddenly became wonderful. He almost rolled over and grabbed Lin Feng's neck. Madman, don't sleep now. We are in big trouble. On the way to pick up Shiwaner and the 2 girls, Guan Ming's mind was always filled with the image of the 2 of them hugging his thighs, one on the left and the other on the right, as if they would blow my asshole as long as they didn't kill me. He couldn't help but smile bitterly and shake his head, saying that Japan it's hard to guard against house thieves when it comes to night defense. Why didn't I consider these 2 guys? However, Guan Ming did not ask the 2 to compensate because he knew both of their family backgrounds. Although Yangjiao University is an aristocratic school, it does not mean that all the students there are rich. There are also many students who are sent here by their families who tighten their belts. Lin Feng and Lu Tao fall into this category. Guan Ming's time was very accurate. It was exactly 8 o'clock when we arrived at the villa area. The 2 women were already waiting there. After getting in the car, Shiwaner snorted, "You are lucky, otherwise I will deduct 200,000 from you. After all, I'm your boyfriend too. You've been thinking about deducting money from me all day long. Yesterday's salary hasn't been paid to me yet."
Guan Ming rolled his eyes, feeling more and more that Shiwaner must have many ways to prepare for this later.
Deduct your own salary. Money greedy.
Shiwaner snorted again, took out her phone and pressed a few times. The money has been transferred to Qianbao for you.
Thank wife. You, what are you talking about? Who is your wife? Shiwaner stared at Guan Ming with a red face. I am a very professional person. Since I have received your money, I should call you wife. Although I am at a disadvantage, you don't have to take it to heart. Guan Ming acted like I just abide by professional ethics. Don't call me wife.
Shiwaner felt angrily.
You still suffered a loss by calling me wife. Good wife. You are not allowed to call me wife. Yes, madam. Guan Ming, if you keep yelling, I will deduct 200,000 from you.
Shiwaner was about to collapse and took out her trump card.
Sure enough, Guan Ming immediately became honest and stopped joking. Then how should I call you? I can't call you boss. Others will be suspicious, so I think you can choose one of the 3 titles. It sounds so friendly. Big pervert, actually you can call Sister Wanner dear. That's a good idea.
Shiwaner reached out and pinched Tan Lulu. Tan Lulu, whose side are you on?
Tan Lulu stuck out her tongue playfully but said nothing.
Shiwaner looked at Guan Ming again and said, you will still call me by my name from now on, and you are not allowed to yell randomly.
Okay, Wanner. You.
Shiwaner was furious, but she had seen Guan Ming's shamelessness a long time ago. She snorted and turned away without talking, which was regarded as acquiescing to the title of Guan Ming. The car suddenly became quiet, and Guan Ming felt bored. I took the initiative to find a topic. Lulu, I saw you fighting with them yesterday in the game city.
You must have practiced martial arts, right? Well, I have been learning Wing Chun. Yesterday was the first time I actually fought. I didn't expect it to be so weak. Tan Lulu lowered her head in disappointment.
If it hadn't been for Guan Ming yesterday, she wouldn't have been able to protect Shiwaner.
Guan Ming was relieved.
In fact, this is not surprising. His own strength is honed in actual combat. Otherwise, if you have no skills, it will be just a show of strength to others. And those bastards are obviously very experienced in fighting, and Tan Lulu will be easily beaten.
The uniform makes perfect sense. If you have time in the future, I will teach you a few tricks. Although they are not too powerful, they are enough to deal with a few gangsters. Well, okay, I will study hard, so that I can protect Sister Wanner. Tan Lulu clenched her fists. Guan Ming smiled and said nothing more. After arriving at school, Guan Ming followed the 2 girls to the classroom. Shiwaner pointed to the seat behind him and said, you can sit here from now on. Guan Ming didn't think much, put his textbook on the table and fell asleep. Tan Lulu suddenly became anxious. Wanner, that's... Leave him alone. Shiwaner didn't let Tan Lulu continue. Yi Gaochang has been in a bad mood for the past 2 days. Shiwaner has always been his target. Unexpectedly, he was picked up by a newly transferred country bumpkin Guan Ming. He also suffered a loss at the hands of Guan Ming. He originally thought that Tang Lei would it was enough to take care of Guan Ming. Unexpectedly, nothing happened to Guan Ming, but Tang Lei asked for leave for unknown reasons. As soon as he entered the classroom, the country bumpkin was still sleeping in his seat. I sat behind Shiwaner because I wanted to have more opportunities to get close to Shiwaner, but now I was taken over by this country bumpkin. Yi Gaochang walked over and kicked the desk. The desk was kicked over. Guan Ming was not affected because he avoided it in advance. Can I still have a pleasant sleep? Oh. It's you, why are you kicking my table? Guan Ming rubbed his eyes and saw Yi Gaochang staring at him angrily, followed by the younger brother who has been following closely. Redneck, this is my place, get out. Your position? It will be mine from today on. You can find a new one yourself. Guan Ming understood instantly. No wonder Shiwaner let herself sit here. It seemed that she was just to chase away the fly Yi Gaochang. It just happened. I also hate this fly. At this time, the whole class's eyes were fixed on this, and Yi Gaochang's face became even more ugly. If this country bumpkin took his position away, then what kind of face would he have? I think you are tired of living.
Yi Gaochang raised his foot and kicked Guan Ming. Guan Ming moved to the side to avoid Yi Gaochang's feet, and warned, although I am a good student, I have a bad temper.
Yi Gaochang's face became more gloomy, and he kicked him again without saying anything.
Guan Ming quickly grabbed Yi Gaochang's ankle and pulled it, and then quickly retracted his hand. No one saw his movements, and Yi Gaochang's body instantly he lost his balance and sat down on the ground, his feet split into a straight line.
Click. There was a slight sound, and Yi Gaochang's face couldn't help but twist.
Hey, Mr. Yi, are you still performing? Guan Ming had a teasing smile on his face.
Master Yi, are you okay?
The two younger brothers behind him hurriedly helped Yi Gaochang up. Yi Gaochang was already unable to stand steadily. His muscles were strained just now, and his bones were also somewhat dislocated.
Guan Ming, please remember, take me to the hospital first.
Yi Gaochang stared at Guan Ming fiercely, and was helped away by his two younger brothers.
Guan Ming rearranged the table and said to himself, hey, why bother? We are all good students.
After saying that, he fell asleep, as if the matter had nothing to do with him. Hey, Sister Wanner, the big pervert must have done it on purpose just now.
Tan Lulu said with a smile. Violent maniac.
Shi Wanner snorted, with a smile on her face.
Yuan Para happened to come in from the door of the classroom.
The scene she just saw was so vivid that she really doubted whether she had seen it wrong. Brother Guan was actually in her class and had taken Yi Gaochang's position. She knew that Guan Ming had a problem with her now, so she silently walked to the corner and sat down. Until class, Guan Ming was called by the teacher to introduce himself, and then returned to his seat to continue sleeping. The teacher knew that Guan Ming was arranged by Shi Wanner, so he didn't say anything more.
Guan Ming slept very comfortably this time. When he woke up, it was already the end of school at noon.
During this period, Shi Wanner didn't find a reason to send him, which surprised him.
Wanner, let's go eat. Guan Ming was so shameless.
You go and eat by yourself, Lulu, let's go. Shi Wanner glared at Guan Ming, and left hand in hand with Tan Lulu. Guan Ming stretched out with a disappointed look on his face. It seemed that he was not going to have a good meal today.
Yuan Peru mustered up her courage and walked over. Guan Ming frowned, is something wrong? Brother Guan, I have something to tell you. Yuan Peru looked a little embarrassed. No need.
Guan Ming waved his hand, strode out of the classroom, and called Lin Feng and Lu Tao to go to the cafeteria to eat together. The most talked about thing in the cafeteria is naturally last night's haunted incident. The rumors themselves become more and more mysterious and exaggerated. In the end, even old stories are revealed.
The woods itself is a cemetery, and the school feels that it is inappropriate.
Geely, the forest was built just now.
Few people knew about it before, but now everyone knows about it. Guan Ming couldn't stop laughing, but it was okay.
He could avoid unnecessary trouble by practicing at night. But in addition to talking about haunted incidents, Guan Ming found that there were always people looking at his table strangely, and he could also hear some discussions.
Have you heard?
In fact, Guan Ming is a gay. The three of them spent half the night in the dormitory last night, making the noise in the dormitory next to them impossible to sleep.
It shouldn't be. Isn't Guan Ming Shi Wanner's boyfriend?
Think about it, Shi Wanner is beautiful, her family has a lot of money, and it was Shi Wanner who took the initiative to confess her love.
If it were you, would you refuse?
It turns out that's what he was planning.
It's so shameless. Shoo, keep your voice down, you'll be in trouble if he hears you. Someone reminded in a low voice.
Guan Ming almost spit out the mouthful of rice he put in his mouth, but Lu Tao and Lin Feng were already holding the rice trays and preparing to leave.
Guan Ming grabbed the two of them by their collars and asked with a murderous look on his face, "You two, should you explain to me what's going on?"